could treat something else.
It's these ideas, passed down from one generation to the next, that have survived intact to the present day. Acupuncture is so deeply rooted in the medicine here, hardly anyone questions whether it works. You know, if everybody in a culture believes that something's going to work, then it's much more likely to work. And we know that about medicine. If people believe something's going to work, it makes a big difference. It's more likely to have an effect. Gunlian's operation is entering the most dramatic phase. They check she's okay as they prepare to stop her heart to repair the hole. It seems amazing to me that acupuncture is even considered for such a life-threatening operation. But after 2 hours of intricate surgery, everything appears to have gone well. Remarkably, just 2 days after the operation, Gunlian is sitting up in bed, telling her sister the story. Her memories are still vivid.
I remember the doctor stuck a needle into my hand and felt my pulse. Then he put another needle in here and here near my vein. Then my whole body started to tremble. When the scalpel started to cut the bone, I could hear it all. But I didn't feel any pain, not a thing.
The speed of Gunlian's recovery is impressive. Just a week after the operation, she's ready to check out. And there's one other benefit to the acupuncture. The bill is 1/3 of the cost of an operation with general anaesthetic. And as I come to the end of my trip, I'm struck by the sheer numbers of people who I've met who are convinced that acupuncture's worked for them. The ancient belief in acupuncture and qi is as much at home among the modern skyscrapers as the old temples. This idea of qi is right at the heart of acupuncture. The Chinese see it as a universal energy that flows around the world and inside every one of us. So it's right at the heart of the culture. These Shaolin monks believe that controlling their qi allows them to perform remarkable feats. And every morning, millions perform Tai Chi, a daily ritual they believe keeps the qi life force in balance around the body. I think in the West, we often see bodies as machines, and when one bit goes wrong, we think we have to fix that one bit. With acupuncture, the Chinese see the body as a whole system, and so instead of just trying to fix the bit that's gone wrong, they try to readjust the balances in our whole body. I've been much more impressed by acupuncture than I was expecting to be. One of the tricky things about this trip is that it feels like I've been speaking a foreign language the whole time. And I don't mean Chinese English, I mean Western medical view and the ideas of qi and meridians. A lot of scientists coming here might say they need more evidence, and I need more evidence, but I've seen enough to make me believe it's really worth trying to explore it more. So, as I head home, I'm eager to find out what science has to say about acupuncture. I saw some amazing things in China and heard some very compelling stories, but nothing really amounted to hard evidence. There could always be other explanations for what I saw. The woman who gave up smoking, for example, seemed determined to give up anyway. So, is there any objective scientific research into acupuncture? Just one website has 9,000 scientific papers and 661 trials. But sheer numbers of trials don't mean much unless they've been properly conducted. I've come to Exeter. The university here is now a world leader in research into alternative medicine. Professor Edzard Ernst scrutinises the research for alternative therapies using strict scientific criteria.
Well, one thing is absolutely certain. There's no such thing as an alternative science, and there will never be such a thing. So either you investigate it with the proper tools of science, or you don't investigate it. Causality is nowhere near proven.
Professor Ernst and his team assess every trial that's published. Mostly, the research is disappointing.
Trials are too small to be ultimately conclusive, because a big trial costs big money, a small trial costs small money. So trials tend to be small and therefore not fully conclusive.
The data isn't just poor. What evidence there is suggests that acupuncture isn't actually working for most conditions. It's certainly not the cure-all it's often said to be. Some people claim, for instance, that acupuncture can help with addictions like smoking, or with weight loss, or even with infertility. But when these claims have been put to the test, acupuncture hasn't been shown to work. But intriguingly, there was one trial that stood out above the others. It was bigger and more scientifically rigorous than the rest. And it was testing a condition that affects millions of us here in the UK. Linda T has suffered migraines for 25 years. A couple of times a month, they'd strike, throwing her family life into chaos.
My eyesight goes, and it goes like all jagged, and you get blind spots. And then usually within about an hour, I'll start to feel sick and get a real pounding headache, and it's just like unrelenting, it's just horrendous.
Nothing her doctors did seemed to work. But then her mother suggested acupuncture, which had worked well for her bad back.
And she couldn't stand up.